Welcome back, everybody, to round one of the grand finals. Team Dignitas and Cognitive Gaming are facing off against each other here, and what a history of battle we have between these two very strong teams. In 3 out of the last weeks, actually 2 out of 3 last weeks, Cognitive Gaming was able to defeat Dignitas here going head-to-head. Dignitas is the top-seeded team going into this, but if Dig wins this out of the last month, it would be 2 for 2.
So I think Cognitive going into this is just hoping for jet lag. China, of
a real
course,
possibility.
They just got back from their show match against Team Solo Mid over in Shanghai, and I don't know, maybe they're tired. Maybe they're really tired.
It could be anywhere from a 26 to 30-hour flight from the States over to China, especially if you have any kind of layovers. It's a 12-hour time zone difference. So, if it's the afternoon for you, you feel like it's the morning. It's a very big difference there. And so maybe they're starting to feel it. Although we know that Zatman likes to play when he's hungover and hates everything. So maybe this is it makes him better.
So we're going to be getting to the game just now. Picks and bans are going to be starting here. It looks like Team Dignitas has opted once again for second pick. Now, if this is counter pick potential, I really think they're opting for second pick more because Chaos side is a stronger start for them.
Right, yeah, definitely. And some teams just prefer one or the other, but Chaos certainly is a little bit more even across the board. And so, if they like it, we'll see. And it only will make a difference in the beginning as part of the progression. But get banned out immediately here against Dignitas. And, honestly, with Shadowkey getting kills with Shockwave, I don't have a problem with it.
I just can't believe that we saw a Geb first ban. I could see a second round ban, sure, but first ban. Cognitive starts off, hey, let's start our game off by telling them we're afraid of Shadowkey. So Aphrodite gets banned out as well. Option back over to Cog. Still a lot of top picks on the map. The third of which is going to be Osiris.
Yeah, Osiris going away. There's still nothing really too surprising, except that it's coming out from Dig, although they are second pick here. I'm sure the best would love to have Scylla, but you never want to give it away since it is first pick potential for Cog. They're going to grab up Agni again. Stealth did amazing last game, as he has been for the last couple of weeks with Agni, showing his stuff off in very spectacular way. And so now they're going to be I imagine locking in Agni here, maybe just thinking about it, the swap away. Over to Dignitas, a lot of things are available here. Hercules, Hoonbots, Thor as well. We've been seeing them run a little bit more different lineups. And so I'm curious to see how they structure this against Cognitive Game. There's that Kumbhakar everyone seems to love so much.
Oh, Loki getting hovered on as well. Now remember, guys, Loki does get buffed by default by the Warriors getting nerfed. I expect to see a Hercules or Ramana counterpick to this, but when Loki has been successful in the hands of Lassus over the past few weeks, it has been a direct result of Aphrodite being able to keep him safe using Undying Love. With Aphro being banned out here, I'm a little nervous for Team Dignitas in this pick. If Loki falls behind early, I don't expect him to have a presence at all.
Yeah, Loki is one of the more hit or miss gods we have in the game. Obviously, if he gets a good start or if he's the first one to initiate, he can assassinate. But him coming from the side is really contingent on timing, preparation, and situational ideas on how the enemy team is positioned, how they're structured. And so Loki can hit really hard, or he can just explode when he tries to initiate. Same thing goes if he tries to flank and his team falls back. The timing can make or break everything he does. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, so Ra and Chalk are going to be, looks like, locked in for Cog. Option to Dignitas, where they're going to hover onto Janice, hover onto Anubis. Is this the best? Is he doing this again, just picking random things?
It's possible. The Habwa is scary because Habwa did not work last game for a lot of reasons. And, Habwa and Loki in the same team. I was not a fan of it, but Poseidon locked in. This is definitely a much better choice for them, a lot more stable and brings more to the table than just damage. And if you have too many characters that are slow and squishy that do high damage, you're not going to have a team fight.
All right, ban phase starts back up. Option to Dig. Not sure what they're going to be looking for here. They still need to take out the jungler. I doubt it's going to be a Chalk jungle, so they definitely have some opportunity there. Looks like it's going to be... they're almost out of time.
Taken down. And obviously, Hunter's still unselected for other teams. Thor banned out. Smart play. Thor, a pretty strong matchup against Loki, studying through and kind of using the distance to clear through. And one hammer is just gonna annihilate Loki if it hits it hard. Vamana banned out this time around, interestingly enough.
Now, what do you think of the roster change here for Dignitas?
I like the fact that they're moving things around. I like the fact that they're trying something different. I mean, obviously they have the potential to use it. So I just want to
I
see it in
thought
action.
Jenny was a good fit.
No, I mean, okay, so here's the problem that I have with this. Jenny is just not as cool as that, man.
You don't even know her. Uller
I
gets
do
locked
know
in.
her. I do.
And for
Me
the
and Jenny go
first
way
time,
back. We were both on the block originally.
Oh no! How did I just bait that? I'm so upset. Homebots gets locked in for the first time since round one today. Option over on COG. Omega is going to be picking, likely for the Hunter role here. Usually Barracuda goes for normal Hunter picks, nothing crazy. And we're going to see a hover onto, it looks like Artemis.
Yeah, Artemis hovered on here. Humbot's already locked in. This actually rounds out a very strong team for
Artemis.
COG. They have Ra for the backup healing, good zone control,
Right.
Chalk getting game for the silence, Arnie for damage, Hunbots for team fight prowess, and then Artemis to bring it home with the damage. I think this is a really good lineup for COG and very balanced as well. Across the way, a little less balanced. I mean, you have Loki, Poseidon, and Ull, all very capable of damage, so they have to bring something strong here. I don't think Bakasura is the choice.
Yeah, I mean, he can do well here. Anatoly has potential to chase down Omega,
Right.
but then in the late game, when you put Ra up against Baka, I mean, that's just not even a comparison anymore.
Yeah, I mean, generally picking Bach in the solo lane is up against either healers or very durable solo laners. So you can just burst through it with the true damage. And generally it allows you to, and this is something that Zaylia kind of spearheaded, is that up against Chalk, Junkei, when Junkei was at his peak, Boxer can just eat through that with the high amount of burst damage and true damage on top, plus cripple. And so it's a laning phase pick here, but, rolling back the few weeks where people are, NQ picking Anubis for the laning phase win, it transitions to mid and late and doesn't really fit together as a team. And so picking these characters for laning phase is interesting. Now, at the same time, Artemis doesn't do well against Bakasura because she can't really clear that gap, especially if he has any kind of CC immunity. So maybe they're building on that. And the way this lineup works for Dig, this puts a lot of pressure on Lasses because the team fights that are going to go the best for them are the ones where he can get in, get a pick, and get out. If he can do that, they can win the fight. But if he doesn't bring any presence to the fight, they can't stand against the very well-balanced and well-evenly spread team that COG has.
Well, I mean, Dignitas does have a pretty decent lead in seeding points going into Week 6. I'm pretty sure that even if they lose this, they should maintain their first seed. But even then, closing that gap by even a small amount, Cognitive, if you give them an inch, they take a mile. With that, we're going to be getting into Game 1 of Finals in just a minute, guys. Remember, this is Week 6 of the Smite World Championships. And these are, I think this is going to be a rather quick game. I mean, either Loki and Uller are going to get shut down early and Bakasura, or they're going to wind up staling it out or getting to the late game, and then those hyper carries are going to start taking off. Either way, we're going to find out in a minute, guys. Make sure to stick around.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to the first round of the Grand Finals. Today's Smite World Championship, week number 6, the halfway point of our quest to the regionals. We're going to be watching Cognitive Gaming against Team Dignitas here, and it's going to be a great match to watch. And like we talked about in the picking stage, DM, this is a very fickle matchup because Team Dignitas has to hit home here.
That's right. Cognitive has answered every single, I think, push that Dignitas has thrown at them in the last couple of weeks, but I wonder how the trip to China is going to affect Team Dignitas. Do you think they're going to come back invigorated, bonded as a team even further, and really push into this game? Or do you think the jet lag and the trip might have slowed them down? I'm excited to see which team is going to control the early game, because like we talked about in the pregame, I think the early game is going to really define what happens throughout this entire push. Will the Loki get ahead and really have a presence in the lane? Will Anatoly have enough damage to push out the Ra? And will Anister get Hunbots to the point where you can no longer fight him and he'll control team fights by himself? I mean, there's so many questions that these two lineups will bring just by the 6-minute mark.
Honestly, at the same time, it's surprising too, right? Because they just came home from a very long trip overseas that takes many, many hours and transitions of jet lag and all that kind of stuff. But they picked a very strange lineup knowing that fact, right? I mean, you have Loki, you have Bakasura, you have these kind of characters that generally don't, not as versatile, not as well-rounded, to the point where, you can play this character consistently and safely every single game, regardless of your mind state. And so maybe they're just going on. Maybe they're realizing that they're not really set for a long game, so they're going to try and close that early as they invade the blue buff and get it on the right side. So that may be exactly what they're doing.
That was a really good push coming in from Dig. You're going to see a small lead already represented. Not wave to wave entirely, but still there's close to 600 experience difference right now, just right off the bat. MLC doesn't really have the wave potential clearing to be able to deal with the best Poseidon, one of the most notable Poseidon players in the world. But at the same time, COG should have a little bit stronger of a mid-game if they can control, but that push from Anatolian Lassus was just so big.
Well, it's scary the right side as well, because if Ra gets caught out and you have Loki, Bakasura at the same time, that's a lot of damage. Even characters, like Umbots, if the cripple lasts long enough, and they don't need long with those two characters to burst someone down. And so if they get the cripple zone on top of Umbots, it's tough. Loki coming over to steal away a big camp. Can he get it? He actually does. He does get the steal and vanishes away. Wow. And now he's losing minions on the mid tower.
Wow, the push potential. This is the Lassus that we know, guys. This is why he picks this character.
He lost 4 minions on that wave and the big minion from that back carpet camp.
300 gold, 600 experience, it looks like, wave to wave. Actually, it's getting closer. It's actually closer to 900 experience, and there hasn't been first blood yet. I mean, they're just doing this from pushing.
Looking for the follow-up here in the mid lane from bots who jump on Loki, take damage. He
does
have, ultimate available. The back
Where
off.
was the path of flames?
Nothing there. I think he's a little bit scared. Knowing that Loki has his ultimate, he might just jump away at any time.
No, he's level 4.
Is it a 4?
Yeah, he is level 4. MLC stealth. I'm really surprised. Maybe he might have used it. I might have forgot. But I'm really surprised that we didn't see more aggression. Zatman, similarly, very low right now. Barracuda and Jeffinla just getting the better of the Dignitas duo lane right now. There's a lot of pressure going down. COG might have been down, but they're certainly not out. And with the way that they're answering and the pressure that we're seeing on the left side, this could be big.
Oh, right side, Bakasura also coming out. Rob being forced away, but he does have that sprint. That's going to be enough for him to get away there. But now he's being forced back, and Bakasura can attack the tower.
This will be strong for him. And Omega was unable to get back there, wasted about maybe 6-7 seconds. He's going to lose an entire creep wave gold and experience. Smart play from Anatoly.
Smart play and good control. And I think that's going to help them contain their lead right now. I mean, it's about 500 gold, 400 gold between the two. COG is definitely playing very safe and careful. At the same time, on the left side, it seems like Barracuda is just getting the better end of Zatman.
So pressure on the left side, immediate teleport. Best might have to answer here with the Kraken. Doesn't quite get it off, and look at the separation. Beautiful play coming out from COG. Absolutely perfect. Lassus almost didn't find the ability to get up there. An all ultimate used right there from the support jungler and mid lane on Dignitas, but Cognitive finds themselves with first blood.
First blood going to COG. That's going to turn things around for Dignitas. And now looking at optimization, will they try to adjust themselves with actives? We do see a Megatron picking up Sprint 2, actually, to avoid the slow, smart pickup for him, not wanting to get caught out by the Bakasura ultimate, knowing that that's the main point of focus. And I'm curious to see how Team Dignitas will carry this into the mid-game, knowing that they have Loki and Bakasura on the same team, both characters that don't really have a very strong individual team fight presence.
So right side Anatoly is just keeping Omegatron locked down. Oh, we're going to see the Searing Pain come out, level 6. Anatoly still has a small difference right there, but we're going towards the 4-minute mark when the buffs are going to start respawning. This might be trouble for Lassus now, as we're seeing, Anatoly just has much more overall control and pressure in the jungle than, maybe a Loki would, who doesn't have that ability to eat minion. The damage isn't as high without something like Butcher's Blades. Could be trouble.
Oh, speaking of trouble, right side box will come out, but there's the sprint. Every single time it comes out, he just sprints right out of it. He cannot be slowed with the immunity from tier 2 sprint. He cannot be stopped. The heal gives him enough zone time, and of course gets back to his tower, and every single time he ults, he just gets away.
So Lassus on the top side looking for something here. It looks like he's going to be going in towards... Yeah, I mean, they're going to have the potential here. Anatoly and Lassus do have a great amount of control to go for those buffs. I mean, we saw them steal it away early, but this time they're not going to be going to the blue buff. I really predicted that they were going to do it. Like I said, Loki doesn't really have the potential for steals, but coupled with Bakasura, that's really dangerous.
We're going to see them on the right side pushing this up here. Bakasura getting a lot of time to go through the wave and then go back into the jungle, get some experience in gold there. First Blood still going to kind of gain, but the gold is relatively even, about 300 between the two, 200 between the two. Poseidon returning back to the lane. Path of Flames, actually a Flame Wave is going to miss there. 2 bombs are going to miss. Actually, Poseidon taking very minimal amounts of damage. We're going to see Stealth kind of push this wave up very effectively. Mid camps are a little bit further away from spawn. The left one will be the first one up here. Hunter versus Hunter on the left lane seems to be going quite well, especially for Barracuda, who is just controlling the area.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has pretty good control right now on COG. Only Omegatron is getting bullied at this point. Anatoly is just not letting him do what he wants. But Omega finally hitting level 8 here, very close to level 9, is not having as much of a hard time clearing the wave anymore. And the pressure coming out from Anatoly hasn't been as strong, especially with the early pickup of Sprint, like we talked about before. Level 2 ensures that he can't be slowed, meaning he can just run out of the cripple. You're going to see it happen again. Another ultimate going to be used here, and Anatoly really doesn't have an answer for this.
He really doesn't. I mean, that's pretty much all he has. He just kind of stares at it, waits, throws the ultimate, and that's it. Left side stun, throw an axe on top. Kumakarna is there, but the boar will give him CC immunity, stunning out the Kumakarna as well, forcing him backwards here. Loki is waiting in the wings, but too far away. Oh, this could be the distance. There goes the dunk. Loki's in the area. Aim strike comes out. There goes the ultimate assassin coming through. Barracuda going down. First blood for Team Dignitas, the second blood overall, and now the kill count has been answered.
Yeah, that was a 3 ultimate push onto Artemis there, as it looks like, Dignitas just yelled out, "Focus the streamer," went on onto Barracuda and just blew absolutely everything, but they find the kill, and getting a kill onto a carry, especially at this point in the game, is just absolutely paramount.
Huge game there, and that's really what was happening. Is Barracuda was starting to pull ahead in that 1 versus 1, currently sitting at 3,700 gold, and across the way we do have Uhl, played by Zapman, sitting at a 3,700. So pretty much tied up there after the kill. Of course, he was involved in that assist, going to clear the gap, and also allows him to clear the wave a couple times before Artemis returns.
So now, 1-to-1, you can see the experience difference has shot up in favor of COG, or rather has stayed in favor of COG, but the gold difference has been normalized.
It has. It really has. And that's going to make something, easier for... realistically, you're looking at Team Dignitas' team. They need a gold lead. They need control. They need space here, because if they're fighting evenly, they don't have the team fight.
So now, we're not seeing a lot of rotations come out from Dig. I mean, we're not seeing the Krakens being used. I mean, I want to see the best utilizing that movement speed passive as much as possible. Lassus could be in a lot of trouble in the mid lane as he's taking a lot of damage. Path of Flames have been activated. Overhand smash, 1 shot, and Andy's going to find another kill, pushing them back even farther.
Oh man, pushing up in the mid lane. Loki will be taken out. It's really tough because he needs as much gold as he can get to come out strong. Loki's presence is that burst damage. If he falls behind in that manner, it's going to be hard for him to kind of come back here. Mid lane is going to be defended very heavily by the best. Right side, Soul lane seems to be going well. In fact, Anatoly is pushing this up very heavily, almost ready to take this tower down, which would give him the zone potential to run over the mid lane and assist with kills and ganks here. Mid camps are responding in just about a minute here. Good double sleep. Looking for Chalk though. I don't see them taking this kill.
Yeah, strangely enough, it looks like they're not going to pressure as much as at least I thought they were going to. Jeff Hinla, level 8 right now. Strangely, actually, I'm more looking at Shadow Q being level 8, despite the fact that he's 0-0-1. But Anatoly, I mean, he's just diving towers at this point, utilizing his ability to just do as much damage as possible. Nice jump, good stun coming out from Stealth, but no follow-up. Anatoly is just going to earn that free kill.
That's all it is. I mean, just free for him. 9 minutes in the match, 2-2, all tied up. Every kill has been answered across the board, 1 for 1. Just a little bit more gold on Cognitive Gaming side, but at this point in the game, it's not enough to make a difference. The Gold Fury area is heavily awarded by COG, but Dig is not allowing them enough room to really do anything about it.
So Andy has picked up Morningstar here. Now, of course, Morningstar has 3 branches. Heartseeker, at this point, it might be a little bit too late getting that farmed up and really get it working at this point. It might take a little bit too long comparatively to how Lassus has already started his. Transcendence, again, will take a very long time to stack. Hunbot's not really a lot of mana issues, given that he's a juggler. And then it will go into Hydra Star, and then finally Hydra's Lament, which will give him a ton of damage, but early on in the game, that cooldown potential isn't really going to be as effective. So it's strange to me to see him picking this up. I wonder what he has in mind.
Whirlpool on the ground. Mid-camp coming out
Oh
blinking,
my
and actually
God.
after the Sacred Monkey, forced to jump out immediately. I'm not sure what he was trying to go for there into enemy territory. Rod rotating over here. There goes the ultimate to force them away. A little bit defensive, not wanting to get caught out here, but now he doesn't have that for the next fight.
That was, I think it caught Dig off guard as much as it caught us off guard. I don't think anyone really expected him to teleport in there. Yawn gonna be good. Epic uppercut. Kraken's gonna come out here, but no! Great positioning from Hinlo's gonna force back the best. I'm really surprised to see them not going for the Kraken there. I wonder what the best was thinking about.
Whirlpool on the ground, mid lane, and push it forward. At best, he's been playing very careful here, and surprisingly enough, because we do see him sometimes commit very hard to fights, and this time around it looks like he's not going to be going down that road. And honestly, maybe he's just playing to the point where if he ever catches anyone out, he's going to be able to do a lot with it. Now, granted, he doesn't have boots there, but speaking of right side, no boots. Rod's going to sprint away from this one. Assassinate coming out, big burst damage. Bacchus a bite. There's the Series Pain going to hit home on Loki, though, not the target taking the tower damage, and that's going to be curtains for Omega.
Once again, at least, that's the second time that we have seen Omega go down to Anatoly on the right side. Big push. You're going to see him 1-0-1 right now. Last has earned the kill as Jeff Hinla rotates in to try to hold the lane. Last takes a lot of damage here, but with 4 creeps pushing forward and the damage coming out from Bakasura, that's going to be a free 500 for the team.
Tower going down, Anatoly's going to take it out. Free 500 indeed, plus the kill. We do see actually Hindla coming in close. There goes the ultimate. The Sacred Monkey's going to come through. Overhand smash as well, but no ultimate.
Not yet, at least. I mean, there's no real pressure opportunity for them. MLC Stealth gets the lane clear, and Anatoly greedily will move forward to clear this wave and strangely be uncontested.
4 coming out in front of the Gold Fury, preventing the sleep coming through here, trying to force it back on Zadman. They're going to get the Hog down. It looks like Dig is going to get that one for themselves. Jumping with Glory Bound is Zatman. Trying to get the kill. There's the volley. One crit gets it. Sacred Monkey on top, forcing him away from the tower. Huge pickup down on the ground goes Shadow Q, and all of a sudden Cog gets a double kill.
You know, if they can turn this into a tower, the Gold Fury will be answered, especially with how much farm they're losing. Experience generally is going to be worth a little bit more than gold, at least at this point in the game. You're going to see Barracuda start to burn this down. 2 members of COG in the jungle right now are going to spot Anatoly and Lassus moving over. It's unlikely they'll get the tier 2 here, but the tier 1 is definitely going down.
Tier 1 will be taking out 500 gold for free here for COG. The gold numbers looks like it's relatively tied up. 400 gold between the two after a Gold Fury gain like that is huge. But again, that's what happens when you take in a 2-man Gold Fury and the rotation comes out. I mean, that's what you'd expect to come through. And credit goes to COG for kind of getting that kill on Razor Thread Wire. I mean, they really had to land every single ability to catch it and then make it back to the tower. And that ultimate placement from Hoon Bots was just prime.
Well, I think it comes down to Shadow Q. I'm not sure if he intended to hit or if he was looking to use Epic Uppercut as escape, but really it comes down to that wasted ultimate. Had he hit the Epic Uppercut, it would have been huge, but he hits it that time with no Kraken damage, really. Jeff Hinla takes a lot. It looks like he's going to burn down. Anatoly will be able to jump out as well as Lassus turns to try to fight as much as possible. You see him going deep into the back line. That's going to be a 1-for-0 exchange here as Andy turns to the small camp to try to pick up some experience, but with the camps respawning and Lassus in tow, I don't know what they're going to be able to do here.
Loki looking for damage here on Hoon Boss. Sacred Monkey's gonna miss. No teleport available there. Ra getting close, but does not have the damage to do it. Omega currently sitting on, tier 2 Steel Mail and CDR boots. He's got no damage to his name. Oh, there goes a kill on the best on the right side of the map. At the same time, we do see a Hunter versus Hunter battle. Glory Bound is on cooldown. The Boar is not available. They can engage on the fight here. Kumakarn coming from behind. Could get the damage off on top. Remember, Kumakarn does not have a passive right now. Will not prevent him from going down. Already looking for Path of Flames. The bomb, the stun, it hits. Flame Wave gonna come out soon. Gonna get the kill there. And there goes Shadow Q again.
Yeah, Shadow Q uncharacteristically is getting picked off a lot this game. I wonder what their plan is going forward. I mean, right now you can see the Steel Mail's coming out. It's likely to be a Sovereignty. It's unlikely we're going to see Mr. Marcus that will interrupt Yawn. Realistically, Shadow Q needs to be more aggressive in situations that call for it. Like we saw before, the blink-in Mez onto 4 people, Kraken comes out. I mean, it was beautiful, but then there's some times where he's by himself or just with Zatman, then he's going super deep with a character that does no damage against a character like Chalk who does a ton of it.
We see Chalk running towards the tower, trying to push this out as Poseidon defends it very vehemently. Look at the gold, very, very even. And it's surprising, right? Because you see the lineup that Dignitas is running. It's something that has a lot of weaknesses, but they're playing in a way that it prevents COG from capitalizing on them. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that, Cog is making a lot of mistakes, but so is Dig, and it's very back and forth. And it's weird because the kind of mistakes you're seeing here are not big mistakes. They're very small, minute missteps or misdirections or missing a single ability. But because we're at such a high level of play, that gets extrapolated to something huge.
So now 15 minutes deep. Gold slightly in favor of Dig. Experience slightly in favor of Cog, showing the true rivalry here as both teams are really looking for a chance to go for objectives. Right now, the Gold Fury has been just going the way of Dig, but at the same time, every time they go for it, there seems to be an answer from Cog, whether it's a double kill or a tier 1. I mean, they're always taking something back immediately.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it's all give and take, right back and forth. As soon as someone gets a kill, another kill gets answered. It feels like the TSM Dig matches at the launch event where just 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. The Gold Fury is going to be responding shortly here, just in about 40 seconds or so. The right side boxer has cleared out that tower, although he's still sticking to defend his tower. Honestly, I would just leave the tier 1 tower and go join his team if the fight's going to break out. I mean, 500 gold is not worth the loss.
Kumbhakarna's been out for a while now, and still, every time he uses that Mesmerize, I can't believe how long it lasts.
It's a very long-lasting ability. Very long-lasting ability. Left side, though, Zatman forced away here. There goes a stun from the boar. That will be forced down. Now Zatman knows that's on cooldown, so we'll see if Dig does something about it.
You know, I really expected a turnaround there. Hell of Arrow's not going to hit anyone. Now, with that, you're going to see a rotation coming out from Barracuda. He's going to find himself in a bad spot there. Puts the trap down, looking for an opportunity maybe to slow them down or just set up for the Gold Fury, which is going to happen soon. I mean, with 3 perfectly spaced traps, you can close off most of the distance in front of the Gold Fury to ensure that your team has complete positional advantage. Whether he's going for that or he's just looking to cover a certain area, I'm not sure. But Barracuda's ability to rotate over, get that down, and then rotate back really without missing anything is just unbelievable.
Gold Fury area is being warded heavily by Cog. They want to lose this one away again. That can make a big difference, especially for Team Dignitas, who, you know, they're sitting on a just about 1,000 gold lead right now, and a Gold Fury plus a tower or even a single pick, all of a sudden this gap is growing and growing, and Cog really wants to prevent that and nip it at the source here. 17 minutes into the match, we're officially into mid-game, and it all comes down to very smart, intelligent choices and good engagements and placements by both teams here. And we know that both these teams are capable of making a lot out of a little, and so just watch the players very carefully, where they move, where they decide to go, what decisions they make in time, because that could turn into a very big team fight loss.
So 6-4 right now, not a lot of action in the past minute and a half, but the lead is starting to shrink a little bit for Cognitive as Dig extends their gold lead and shrinks the experience lead that Cog has over them. It looks like Dig just has better control of this mid game, but you should be considering that Last is only level 14 right now, doesn't quite have the same damage potential that Andenser is going to have at level 15.
Now we see them running towards the Gold Fury area, but not really wanting to commit it just yet. The best is still sticking to his tower. Does not want to lose this tower ever, ever, ever. There's a crack coming out right on top. Very, very low. Chalk can get the kill, but Barracuda goes down on the left side due to the Loki rotation. In the meantime, it's a little bit unfortunate that Cog were able to do anything in the mid lane because they left Barracuda alone because of it.
Yeah, Zap's bait was beautiful. Gets hit by the boar, baits it in, and then coming in. Zapman does not have beads this time, but he does jump. Andenser actually missed an auto attack there. This could be trouble. Oh my god, Zap with the baits! As we're going to see Jeff Hindler rotate down. Glory Bound not available with that low mana. It's really up to Lassus just to escape, and that Mesmerize is going to last a month. But where is Lassus going?
He's just juking away. He's got the movement speed, he's got the invisibility, he's got the control in the area. Now looking for the Gold Fury. Now with Loki and Bakasura hitting it together, that's going to be a very quick kill, especially given the fact that with his behind you passive, he's able to do more damage from behind. They're going to leash it away. They're looking for Chalk. Chalk looking for an ultimate possibly. There goes the stack up. Bakasura doing huge numbers here. Chalk forced away. Roz using the divine light to blind them away with the slow. Oh, this time, epic uppercut. Kumbhakarna all alone here. Laying on the ground. Searing Pain's going to hit nothing there as they run away from that fight. Gold Fury might now beat Cogs.
Anatoly's going to try to make his presence known, but realistically, if he moves in against 4 people, it's going to be trouble. But Zap is back on the block here. You're going to see the boar come in. Barracuda's back as well. Look at the damage coming through on both sides. Throne Axe is going to land. Hail of arrows. And, oh, big shot from the best, but the Tidal Surge will miss. But Gold Fury has not been leashed just yet. It still sticks in favor of Cog. It's getting even lower. This should go to Cog here.
Cog's gonna steal that one away indeed. Dignitas not done yet though. There goes the damage from Ghoul. Loki's in the fight. Oh, there's the ultimate from Chalk as well. Whirlpool cracking it and hit a double hit there. Killing Chalk.
Wow.
And Duncan from Glorybound will finish off Stealth. It's a 3-0 exchange that get the Gold Fury, but wait for it. At what cost?
Triple kill answers back, and Dignitas 9. Uh-oh. I thought they were going for the tier 1.
Oh, they have this single target damage. They have a Hunter, a Loki, and a Bakasura on top of that one. This could be a huge, huge steal for them, and Cog has no idea.
Oh no, I think they recognize Barracuda kind of sprinted over there. What they don't realize is that it's already gone.
They have that single target damage with those 3 characters together. If you give them a single second, they'll get an objective out of it.
Not to mention, I mean, we talk about the Bakasura and the Loki, you know, and the Uller, but what about Trident coming out from Poseidon? 3 auto attacks at once with the scaling that he has at this point, with the Bancroft's talent, and now the Gem of Isolation online. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, a huge amount of damage. And that will allow them to slow them down enough to just stick to the target here. You got the cripple from Bakasura, the single target from Loki, anyone. And honestly, if you're looking down the barrel of this much damage from Dignitas, you really can't afford to misstep in this stage of the team fight, because all of a sudden you'll lose your crucial player because they're so ready to initiate on you. And I think Dignitas is so hungry, and that plays well into their build, that Cog is kind of scrambling to react to it.
So 6-9 right now. Dig just has complete control. You know, where we saw Cog doing very well, and they've started to fall off. Andy's trying to find something here. I mean, he was trying to fight up against Lassus, but Lassus' damage and the answer was just too high. And now Shadowq tanking the tower with 5 people on Dig moving forward. Even with the bombs, they have nothing to threaten them with.
Well, the bar was used, the Robot's ultimate was used 1 versus 1 for his Lassus, didn't get anything for it, so now those 2 big team fight ultimates are not available anymore. They have the Chalk Silence, the Ross Knife, and a few bombs from Augie. Oh, crack on the backside, avoided completely here, jumping on top of Poseidon, forcing away the best, gonna be silenced out here. Usam gets used, Ross Knife not gonna hit home. There goes the kill on Hinla, not gonna deliver the epic uppercut, is gonna be falling down on top. It's a 1-for-1 trade there, actually a 2-for-0 exchange, I should say, as Lassus got the kill on Stealth. They got nothing left here, and Zapman is raining down from behind, blinking over the, oh no, gets the hit! Barracuda goes down to the belly bump from Kuba Karna, and the Phoenix is exposed!
Yeah, they're going to be able to burn this one down. They have 4 people here, and still only 2 people left right now without ultimates are Annister and looks like Omega, but really they don't have the potential for it. They're going to turn their sights to the left side, pick up a tier 1, maybe even the tier 2, depending how fast they are. Barracuda and MLC still have over 20 seconds left.
They do have enough time to be able to deal with that. Now they're going to take away the jungle camps, adding insult to injury. Movement speed gone away, and Annister has to watch it go. Left tower should be falling down as well. Poseidon and Ull on that side of the map. The best and Zapman speeding away at a fast rate here. 22 minutes and 50 seconds into the match. The Gold Fury is just about 2 minutes out now, right now, and they're going to try and look for that. But the Fire Giant buff is really the driving point for them, and why they were able to kind of barrel down the front door and make some damage done at the same time. That buff steal was huge.
So 1 tier 2 remaining. Phoenix down in the mid lane. Dignitas has 7,000 gold right now in the lead, on top of 8,000 experience as well, with no level 20s. They have 3 19s right now, which is a huge advantage. And you can see Anatoly really, I mean, a ton of damage. Executioner's online. He's getting close to Balance Blade as well, getting finished. He's less than 900 gold away. I mean, once those chin size are online, coupled with Butcher's Blades activation into true damage, I just don't see how someone's going to try to box him out.
Moonbots is sitting inside that healing buff from Ra. No towers except for that last one remaining, and they are just clinging to it like it's the last cookie in the jar. Blinking like a Makara. There goes to sleep as well. More on the ground. Whirlpool coming through. Purification beads get popped there, actually forcing them backwards. Trap on the ground. Zapman's in trouble. Forced away. They're not going to try and go for it. They know they don't really have the grounds to fight here. The Fire Giant buff is still active for the time being, but will be falling off in just a few seconds here.
Left side getting pushed even farther. You can see Anatoly finally rotating in as well as Lassus is looking for an opportunity. Zapman finds a good shot. It looks like Zap's taking some damage though as the Whirlpool comes down. Still no pressure to go in, but they're going to have to start playing Babysitter. The fire minions are pouring into the base right now, and that's going to force a 5v4.
Forcing it away. damage going to the wave. I mean, this Phoenix is still standing, but the mid Phoenix is already gone, and we see Last kind of poking in on that wound and seeing what is in there. Make sure the wave gets cleared out. Oh, possibly initiation, creeping curse crack coming out on the backside. There's the Chalk ultimate, Silence 3, actually. Purification Beats popped by the best. There's the Epic Uppercut, bringing right down into the ground. Assassin on Humbots as he's jumping there, surprisingly enough. I don't think I've ever seen that. And until he goes down to a Megatron's huge amount of damage on Ross. Stealth gets taken out by Lassus, but Lassus goes down instead.
So more damage coming through. Still Phoenix is standing strong. The Titan, however, is taking a lot of damage. They're not playing babysitter anymore. This wave is doing a ton of damage, already down about a third as they try to push forward. Cog is trying to keep them out of the base here. A kill onto Zatman would be big, but Anister goes down before he has an opportunity. Glory Bound used. Shot coming out from Omega, who finds the best. I don't even know if that was intentional, but still double for Zatman as he moves forward. He's going to try to finish this up here. I don't know if he yes, he does have the damage potential. With the deicide, that looks like it's going to be game one.
That looks like it's going to be it. Zatman and the Titan doing huge amounts of damage. They got no HP to go. The minions are there. Can Jenny Z from the block take down the Titan from the order base? And will it be enough? It looks like it will in there. And that is that. Down go Cognitive Gaming. And with one of the strangest lineups we've seen in a couple weeks here, I take that back. We saw Naja Osiris.
Did you see, by the way, Jenny, or rather Zatman now goes in with Shadowhue. They both go into the Titan because they see the creeps coming in. Right as they step into tower line and pull the Titan, the creeps get pulled by the spawning creeps coming out from the blue team. That rough life.
It's unfortunate, but they got it.
So game one is going to be going to Dignitas. Of course, this is a best of 3 set. Option of first pick, first ban, of course, will go to Cognitive. Will they take second pick this time? Will they let Dig run it back? We're going to find out in a few minutes. We're going to cut to a quick break, and then we'll be back with finals. Stick around.
And welcome back, everybody. Game number 2 of the Grand Finals, the Smite World Championship, week number 6 between Team Dignitas and Cognitive Gaming is about to start off here. The picking stage was a little bit interesting last time around, and we gave a lot of credit to Cognitive Gaming for a well-balanced, well-evenly made team, and then Dignitas with this very aggressive team, but it seemed to work wonders.
Yeah, I mean, they did a really good job in the beginning, just ensuring, especially with that steal, Anatoly and Lassus running in for that steal, taking the blue buff away, which just set Omega down a path of failure. I mean, he couldn't compete at that point. He didn't have the mana to sustain through Bakasura's damage. He didn't have the movement to get away from Baka once he got all of his damage online. And Omega just kept getting picked off. By the time Anatoly started joining team fights, it was just too late.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, honestly, it's hard to be able to keep up with that, right? Because when you're playing Ra, you play more of a defensive start. And obviously, he had that Breastplate of Valor and realizing, okay, I have a lot of physical on the enemy team. I don't want to be picked off, especially with Loki lurking in the jungle. It's always a good idea to pick up Breastplate of Valor as a magical character with low mobility like Ra does. Even with his passive Speed of Light, he has the mobility, but still, Loki can catch up whoever you are, unless you have some kind of blink or teleport or jump of some nature here. So hopping in the pick of stage, we're going to see how this goes for both these teams. Game 1 did go to Dignitas. As you can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, they have one game to start here. This is a best of 3. So if Dignitas wins this, they win it all. The first ban goes to Kumba Karn.
Well, last time they banned out Geb, so both times first ban has been a shot to Shadowhue, Team Dignitas. Their support player really shining. The double support ban. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Shadowhue. And then, Aphrodite's already off the board, so we're going to see Shadowhue going into something he might not be comfortable with. I would really... Oh, and wow. Do you see... Dilla got banned.
Interesting.
Oh.
Loki.
The Loki first pick. Okay.
Wow.
We have got to that point in our lives, DM. We're at that point in our lives where Loki is being first pick. Now, of course, this is something that Anister can use very well. And actually, Lassus and Anister have a big history together as players.
Omega can
they
too.
Joust each other. That's exactly right. And so Loki's still available, although Loki solo isn't as strong as it really used to be when the decoy got nerfed, so it's hard to control the lane, but certainly can be used. But so I imagine Anister's going to pick up Loki, which means Lassus can't. And then the supports are gone, so this is an interesting game.
Yeah, so Chalk going to be grabbed here more than likely. Yeah, he's going to be locked in. This will be a support pick. I want to see Hercules. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Geb taken off the table. Kumbhakarna, Afro, Chalk all taken off the table here for Cognitive Gaming. So they have options of like Athena, Sobek, but I still think Hercules is going to be their strongest pick.
Sure. I mean, definitely a very strong pick. We haven't seen... Actually, since like the round of 16, Hercules hasn't been preferred or even picked at all going forward. So it's a little bit strange, but it seems to be working for all these teams. Maybe they just haven't integrated Hercules into their pack just yet. Usually takes a little bit longer for competitive players to pick up new additions because they spent so much time practicing before. But
it looks like the production switched Chalk over to Athena. It was not locked in on the right side. Athena was locked in. Chalk is hovered on now for Cognitive Gaming.
Chalk!
That gets locked in there. So Loki, Chalk, Neath on the left side. Right side, Athena, Agni.
Production sends their apologies in the form of insults. Right side, we're going to see Team Dignitas with the option once again after Neath, and of course Barracuda were locked, or rather Neath for Barracuda was locked in as well as Chalk, and it looks like we're going to see a hover and lock onto the onto Ra. Yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah, definitely a strong pickup there, especially against characters like Loki or Neath. And even against Loki, you can stand inside the heal, get the slow down, any kind of melee character that gets close to you can keep them there. And Ra's just such a good character. He really is. I mean, he's just so well spread across, incredibly versatile. He's got a heal, high movement speed. He's got the long range with his ultimate, good control in the laning phase, good slow. He even blinds people. He's the only one in the game that does that. And so definitely a strong pickup there. So with Ra and Agni locked in on Dig, they're going to ban out Poseidon in addition to Scylla. So the question is, we're pretty deep in the mid charts now. Where do they go?
I mean, this is MLC Stealth. He could really, I mean, Isis is still on the table, one of the most overlooked gods in the game. And for those of you who have been watching this tournament series, you know that his Isis is no joke. So I really wouldn't be too worried there.
Is this support ban day?
What was that, a Sobek?
Is this a support ban? They just
so
don't like support?
I mean, they already had Athena. I guess they're assuming that Athena is going to be going into the jungle here. Artemis gets locked in for Dig as option goes back over to Cognitive Gaming. They're looking for, it looks like Jean Quay is going to be hovered on, and they'll likely need a solo laner as well if this is not already the solo lane, so maybe another mage here.
So Jean Quay is going to be picked up here, most likely, actually. I don't see this going away. I mean, they could go for Isis, certainly, and I think MLC Stealth has he has a rapport with every single mid character in the game, so it could work either way. A lot of characters available. Habwa, an interesting choice here for Cog, especially with Loki already on the team, and Neath being there as well. Very squishy characters that could be exposed, but again, there's no real fast assassin type character on the side of Team Dignitas, so maybe this works out.
We're going to find out, though. We're going to see Habwa and Jean Quay both locked in right side. Option and final option goes to Dignitas. This might be a support. This might be a jungler, depending on what they want Athena to do. And it looks like Athena is going to be support as Thor gets hovered on and locked in immediately. Lassus is going to have that semi-global presence with Anvil of Dawn.
That's right. I mean, the mobility is huge there, especially against characters like Habwa in the mid lane. If he ends up going down that road, it could go solo as well with Chalk support. I mean, obviously Chalk is guaranteed to be support here as they ran him last game. I don't imagine they'd change that strategy up at all. But with Habwa and Jean Quay locked in here, we'll see what they swap over to see exactly where they're going to be going. We do know that Loki is most likely going to the jungle here. So, and with Neath across the map, characters like Loki. Okay, so it's going to be solo Habwa and then mid lane Jean Quay. But again, Loki lurking in the jungle, Habwa waiting in the solo lane, and then you have a Neath ultimate from across the map, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I do not envy Anatoly's position here at all.
That's right. Well, speaking of position, we're going to see what positions they go to and how far ahead they get if they do it all. Keep in mind, this is game 2 of the grand finals. Dignitas already took first game, so if they take this, they win it all. So it's all up to Cog here. If they want to try and survive to get first place, they have to win here and then win again in game 3. We're going to find out what happens as we go into game 2. Stick around. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, and welcome back to game number 2 of the grand finals of today's Smite World Championship Qualifiers, week number 6 between Cognitive Gaming and Team Dignitas. Dignitas is in the lead with the first game going to their namesake, and now Cognitive Gaming is on the chopping block.
That's right. Going into this series, Dignitas not only has a series lead, 1-0, but they also have the seeding lead. Going into next week, if they can confirm this, this is going to make them a very dangerous and notably the top contender going into regionals.
Regionals is going to be a huge, exciting matchup. I think both these teams really understand that they have a good lock-in for this, and the points they're earning today, and like you mentioned, will further that fact. And honestly, like you were mentioning, there's 80 seeding points that are separating these two teams here.
Right.
So even if Cog takes first and Dig takes second. Dig will still secure their first place slot. But honestly, it just closed that gap even better. So I know Cognitive Gaming is hungry to get this win today, but they have to go through Dig twice now. Since they lost the first match, they would have to win here and then go on to the best of 3 third match and then win that as well. But we're going to see the full blue rush on the right side of the map. Are you seeing this?
Oh, yeah, no. Man, they're going for it. They're gonna get the steal, or at least the opportunity to go for.
He potted.
Oh my God, Lassus, you are in so much trouble. It's already taken away. That one's gonna go to the blue team. The card's off here. Do they have the potential? It looks like Omega has gone for the cannon and not the spout, which means they're not gonna get the kill. But that's a wasted hand of the gods. Omega has complete control. The buff goes down and given to 3 people. That is a major loss for Dig there.
No buffs for Dig on the backside. Movement speed and blue buff still standing strong. Loki was still able to secure that damage buff for himself. Now, granted, they lost the mid camp on the right side for Cognitive Gaming, but they are more than happy to sacrifice that 90 gold and 140 experience for the loss of the buffs behind them. So now they're both creeping up. Are they going to Are they going for the mid camp?
I assume they're going to go for the mid camp here. I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to go for stealth. Not with the best still only being level 2. He gets level 3. But at the same time, Anatoly will get that mid camp. He gets into level 2. But right side, they're going to be able to keep them out. This entire wave is now threatened. Anatoly's super low here. If Andy can find the slow, this could be big. Ooh, nice dodge.
But that doesn't change the fact that they might even lose their blue buff here as they get the decoy out. There's the damage from Habwa. Heal from Ra is going to be enough. Thor last is now coming around here. Anatoly's in the area. The blue buff goes down, goes to Habwa, but you know, it's a good try. And honestly, if anyone really wanted to know
we got left side. We got more potential here. Zap got very aggressive. Can Barracuda find the kill? Don't know if Spirit Arrow's online, but Shadowq's in a lot of trouble as well. Nice slow coming out. No tower damage taken just yet, but there's a lot of damage going through in pretty much all lanes right now.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, even mid is being pushed up here. John Quay going very, very deep, and it looks like they're going to force the best around the backside as, you know, Loki rotates back on over. Loki seems to be a strong pick for both these teams, and both Anister and Lass is comfortable rotating around.
So now, 0-0. Very surprisingly, no first blood has gone yet, but Anatoly is only level 2 right here, and they're letting Habwa get ahead.
Well, there's also no first movement speed. Both buffs are still standing, so those have yet to be killed. We're going to see our first movement speed kill on the bottom side, and on the top side as well, as Lass makes his way back over. You know, and I'm amazed that he potted, got Berserker Barrage first, and still have the audacity to evade the damage buff.
So, Anatoly needs to do something here. I mean, if he gets aggressive, he's going to wind up dead. He can't outpush Habwa at this point, even though they can get close, but Omega's not level 5 yet. Mjolnir's attunement's going to be used early. He hits level 5. This could be a turnaround. Where's the crushing wave? He starts it up a little bit too late there. He took a lot of damage in the process. He won't die, but he's certainly not going to have a chance to get the kill.
Yeah, I respect the fact that he just committed that disengage there, and he could turn around for the water spout, water cannon, killed off Lass very easily, but he had no knowledge of what was behind him. He didn't know if the ability was going to come out very shortly, if there was going to be a celestial beam coming right through his face, and so taking that chance, assassinate right side, looking for it, aim strike comes out, Answer finds Lass backing in the middle of the lane. Beautiful play there. He beelined straight to the lane for that.
Well, Lassus is going to go down again. We saw this in the last game where he was one of the first few kills to go down as well. As we're seeing a more rotation coming out from Cog. Jeff Hindless here waiting for the left side camp. Both camps notoriously late this time. Usually we see them killed within 4 to 8 seconds of their spawn, which means it would have spawned 30 seconds ago. Right side's not going to be up for another 30 to 40 seconds. This side's finally blinking with Shadowq's here. We're going to see a storm call go off here. The best not going to be able to go anywhere. That's going to be a kill.
Kill goes down on the best. It's going to be a 2-0 lead here for Cognitive Gaming. Card on Shadowq, forcing him out of there. Last is in the area, but this mid-cap is going to go to Cog very easily, even with them in the area there. Thunderstrike coming out from Chalk. Hindley going to harass a little bit on Shadowq. Teleport from Lass forced out, but this is rough because Lass is now currently the least farmed in the game, and on Thor, that's not a good look.
That's right. I mean, Thor really needs the opportunity to get big. I mean, Mjolnir's attunement hits so hard, but only when it's leveled up. I mean, level 6, level 7, level 9, that's when you're going to start swinging people for actual blood. Right now, he doesn't really do enough damage or have enough control where he's going to be super noticeable when he comes for the gank, especially with how far behind he is comparatively to Andenster, who's now top farm in the game.
Well, penetration makes a big difference for Thor as well. I mean, anyone who plays Thor in the jungle knows that as soon as you finish those warrior top E, all of a sudden you can clear the camps very easily. You can get the damage out very easily, and that mobility along with the penetration you get with it makes your life a lot easier. But if you can't get to that quickly, all of a sudden the minions that start scaling up in HP are very hard to kill. Your jungle speed is very low, and you can't rotate very well to getting initiation on your team. And then you're relying on the people you're ganking for damage.
The left side, Barra is by himself right now. I'm very surprised to see Shadowq not going for the dash, and Barra doesn't have beats here. They could really get him just with the taunt, bait the backflip, look for the trap, but they're maybe afraid of the rotation. I don't know if Barra has the line of sight on them. Realistically, that should have been an opportunity at least to send him back to the base, but they seem to be afraid.
Hobble on the right side and clear out that blue buff yet again. It looks like the Anatoly is going to miss out on that blue buff twice in a row. It's so hard, especially up against a character like Habois, who, you know, if you're not keeping up with the push or levels, he's going to start scaling you very easily. There's a water spout on last. Just saying hello, say, hey, welcome to the solo lane. How you doing?
That's a good... All right, so, I mean, it looks like he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's hanging in there.
Low mana, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's fair.
So
Nice
Omega
name.
is still going to be fighting two people here. Last is undeterred, not ready to let this one go, and again, surprised to not see pressure come out. This is the second time now we've seen a 2v1 where the two have not aggressed. They're just kind of leaving Habwa to his own devices, and really, that's not a character you need to let farm.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's just too much. I mean, the damage burst could potential for mid and late game. And honestly, on both teams, you would say. I mean, you have Habwa, you have Loki on the left side, a little bit more so than Dignitas, but they still have Artemis, they still have Thor if you can catch up, and Agni played by the best, no less. So certainly a lot of potential on either side.
So we had a speed buff on the left side. Looks like Andy's going to rotate down, try to pick that one up as the mid camp is going to be spawning pretty soon. Now they do have vision here. It looks like Dig is going to spot this out. Annister rotates in, vanished. Best is going to take the card. No way he's going to be able to get in there with that thing attached to him, and he knows it, which is why Path of Flames will be used to get him back to mid lane. But still, this is a... Oh, we got a big push here.
Whoa. The
Whoa.
best going down there. Now looking for a taunt here in the mid lane. Not going to find it. Decoy clears out the minions, but I think they call that damage.
I expected the best to maybe get a stun off, look for an opportunity for some damage. We knew that Path of Flames was on cooldown. Same thing's happened to Toli here, who's getting forced out. Cog has complete control of this game so far.
Really, really does. And that's really going to benefit them more and more. I mean, again, Habba, one of those characters that's weak early. If he scales quickly, he can get out of control. And honestly, no one likes going against a Habwa who's farmed, because it's this idea, right, where you want to kill Habwa. Take him out. He's got a lot of damage, but it's like if you're going to kill Habwa, you have to do it fast, because if you stay near Habwa, you're going to die. So it's like, can we get him? If we initiate him properly, is he going to survive? What if he has an Each stamina? What if he has purification beads? It's very difficult to deal with a Habwa that gets ahead, because he does so much damage that right there is his CC and peel.
So, speaking of Habwa, I mean, he has control of this lane right now. With Toli coming back in, I'm really surprised to not see Omega look for some kind of damage. Searing Pain going to be used just to clear the wave out. Get the cooldown back pretty long. It's short. I mean, it's at this point, it's nothing to worry about. By the time Habwa gets back and starts to begin... Holy, Zapman finds a kill into Jeff Hinla almost instantaneously. It seems like every kill in this game so far has just been like instant death.
Looks like this just in from the Bronze Match. The Game Changers have defeated Snipe in the Bronze Match, taking third place, even though they're the fourth seed. So Snipe ends this week fourth overall, surprisingly enough.
Yep, that's going to put Game Changers solidifying their third seed. Anatoly's going to be at a tough spot here. No one's going to be able to rotate fast enough. And Last is going to look for the kill. I don't think he's going to have the line here. He gets the stun. Where's Mjolnir's attunement? Is it on cooled? Last is going to be in trouble here. Is the knockup going to be good? He's going to jump to try to delay. Knockup, splash. Mjolnir's attunement could end it, but he's going to find himself directly in favor of... Yeah, great job. Teleport right over the wall, ensure he doesn't take the card, and just barely get out of that one. A lot of ults wasted there.
Oh yeah, definitely looking for a lot of opportunities, and none of them really struck home there. Good credit goes to Omega as well for kind of just reacting that the right way. And I like the fact that players are being a little bit more cautious now. They're not really throwing caution in the wind and jumping in there. Omega beeline straight to the tower. Last gets right out, but we do see Endister hanging out on the right side of the map, looking for a kill on to the best, or really anyone that shows their face. The best running to the jungle. Does he see it? No words on the ground right now. Blue buff being taken here. He jumps over. Assassinate's available if he wants to go for it. Hand of the gods. Pops the advantage, though, but there goes a rotation coming out. Searing Pain from over the wall. The blind shot trying to take the blue, but too little, too late.
Even if he managed to catch Omega there, it really wouldn't have deterred him in any way. At this point, he has the mana or he doesn't to stick around in this lane. He's going to try to be as aggressive as possible. Anatoly 3 levels down right now, just can't commit to the Water God. It's just not going to happen.
Left side Neath versus Artemis is taking place with the 4-1 lead that Cognitive Gaming is boasting right now, especially given the fact they do have a 2,000 gold lead. Zatman's under trouble. I mean, left side, oh, big rotation, pops the board. Athena ultimate on top, turns around, the Choco comes out as well. Where's he going? He's not going to tower, he's running downward. There goes the top, there goes the double dunk from Thor, though. Last is in the fight, but I don't imagine they pursue this.
Oh, the Aegis there made a little bit too long. Andy Cool go down there as they turn their sights to Jeff Hindla. Barracuda is out of mana and out of backflips, as that means, yeah, he's going to get picked off here. I just don't see him getting away. Taunt should be back off cooldown, but oh my god, the
nice
push
taunt.
was real. Great spot. Jeff Hindla gets low. MLC gets low as well, both of whom are out of mana as Haba rotates into the mid lane, out of mana himself. Really, this should be the goal fury for Dignitas.
2-4 in exchange, including the most damaging physical damage dealers, Neath and Loki, going down there for Cognitive Gaming. The gap is a little bit closer, about 1,400 gold between the two. Previously was 2,000. Like you mentioned, the gold figure being started up here by Dignitas. There's no one even on that side of the map right now for Cog, and all of a sudden we have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. 5-3, even with the great start that Cog had, Dignitas finds a way to turn it around. I mean, that started off with Zatman just be completely surrounded, taken out immediately, but great positioning, great play, and I think I gotta give credit to Stealth.
I think that's
there.
where I disagree. I think the whole thing turned around because Zap wasn't taken out immediately. He ran around in circles, baiting out 3 ultimates and wasted a ton of time. He just dodged so many shots that Dignitas was able to turn the fight around.
Speaking of fight, on Loki, walks to the Path of Flames, taking a lot of damage here. The ticks on the damage will show him where he is on the map. Needs to get close. The Path of Flame's not available. Loki running downward. There's the decoy doing some damage on the way over. Hobbleblood jumps over. There goes a crushing wave. The best gets faded out and destroyed instantly. And the Loki by himself. Neath will buy some distance here as Loki tries to go in on the damage. There goes the stun, running back towards the tower. He's A-okay, but Hobla takes out Anatoly as well. There goes a 3rd kill, but this time it will be Omegatron going down. Chalk on the ground. Jonquay. Exorcism doesn't have the distance. The card is after the fact. Berserker Barrage, but there goes the stun from the Book of Demons. Was that an amazing 2 for 2?
Oh my, that was a 3 for 1 right there. I mean,
hard.
just Lassus did manage to find a pretty enormous kill with the Mjolnir's attunement over the wall, but when it's all said and done, we're looking at Omega's ability to just blow people up.
I mean, that's it, right? Loki being baited down, and all of a sudden you have a blink hobble in her face, knock up into a wall, and just he died before he hit the ground. I mean, he was just knocked up and just gone, and that's the damage that Hobble really has. And Omega's been farming effectively. He's currently sitting at about 6,900 gold. That's gonna be the most gold in the game individually. Across the way, we do see Anatoly. The least on his team is 5,700, so a 1,200 gold difference between the soul laners. Huge.
Though Cog is definitely playing a lot smarter than they were in the previous game. Let's check in on the replay here with Omega's ability to just annihilate people, Driver.
It's like that old Western trick where you flip the coin and shoot everyone before it hits the ground. That's exactly what happened. Here's the knock-up, crushing wave, he's gone. His animation played in the air. That's the damage we need. But look at the follow-up here. Looking for Loki, Neath ultimate buys time, and Omega spends time backing up. There's the Chalk ultimate, and really that's what sealed the deal, right? Because they could not fight back while they were silenced. Omegatron ended up getting taken out by Lassus' hammer from over the wall, but it was just a great play across the board by Cognitive.
I liked it. I mean, I just like the way that Cog is playing this game so far. They've just been very smart. I mean, they're using the ultimates on the right people. They're getting aggressive when they need to be. I mean, look at Omega right now. He recognizes, I might not even get this, but I'm going to make the play just to pressure. This is the first time, I think, in tournament in months that we've seen Habwa really utilized properly. He gets ahead, He applies the pressure, he gets damage done, he picks off kills, and he turns team fights.
He really does, and that's the biggest thing for Habwa, is that he has that weak early game that if you don't punish him, if he gets ahead in some way, it's almost impossible to deal with his own potential, especially if his team's protecting him. And we know that Cognitive Gaming plays well as a team. They're going to group around Habwa, and it's like you have this idea in your head, but you know, we have to kill Habwa. We can't win a team fight if he's still alive, but we can't kill Habwa because his team's protecting him. And so as long as they have that zone control, Cognitive Gaming has a good transition into late game.
So now, 14 minutes, 30 seconds deep. Gold Fury's on cooldown, Fire Giant is available, but neither team really has the damage potential without at least a 4-person swing to try to grab that. Barracuda, though, on the left side is getting pressured a lot. You can see the tower is constantly pushed. That man actually got some free farm. He got to go back to the base there, spent some money, and now you see Balance Blade is online. Executioner or Chin Size, either one. The damage plus Devourer's Gloves and the Warrior Tabby, that's huge.
Huge enough, and that's really, it's going to keep going bigger and bigger from there. 15 minutes into the game, we see them kind of just pushing little by little ahead. Cognitive Gaming had the start, Dignitas turned it around with a Gold Fury, and Cognitive Gaming turned it right back around again. But speaking of Gold Fury, it's about to respawn on the left side of your map in just about 30 seconds or so, and we'll see who can pick it up. And honestly, the gap is small enough that whoever gets the Gold Fury here could take the lead.
That's true. I mean, there's only a 2,000 gold difference. The only big deal right now is that COG has a 5,500 experience difference, reflected mostly in the fact that Omegatron is 3 levels right now ahead of Anatoly. Something we normally don't see. Anatoly, not a player that we usually see fall behind.
Oh yeah, it's so strong at farming. That's what Soul Island is about. You just, you know, you plunder the riches, you put it in your pocket, and then you go and join your team about 15 to 20 minutes later after you start the solo island, and that's what he's so good at. But, you know, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that there's been a lot of pressure and presence in the solo lane, and so he can't really do his AFK farm procedure. We're going to see Loki fight up against Athena here in the mid lane, running him back to the tower. 3 players from Cognitive Gaming grouping up and heading over towards the Gold Fury area. If they can get some kind of pick or even force away the Athena, keep in mind, Chalk is still on the side of Cognitive Gaming, and as we saw in the last game, if you get AoE silence, the Gold Fury is pretty easy to snag.
So 8-4 right now, Dry. Gold Fury's up.
Right.
Big doesn't really have as much pressure right now as COG does, especially with Omega being as big as he is. Omega also has 1,800 gold in hand, which means he's going to level up that lost artifact into restored artifact pretty soon.
That's right. Speaking of initiation here on the left side, we see
Oh,
Nate
actually,
running away. Verica trying to go with the taunt coming through the trap. She's going to step on it. She stepped on the trap due to the taunt and will go down on the left side. Wow.
Oh, but look at the top side. More damage coming through as the best is trying to choke them out here. Shadow Q's going to take a Thunderstrike. Not sure why Jeff decided to use it there, but they're going to turn around. Last is trying to burn something down here, and he's forced to jump away as MLC Stealth turns around. I think Last is going to go down.
Last using ECM, trying to get away, get the distance here. The Path of Flames is ticking. Loki's in the area, can't get the hit actually. Following around, Habwa is coming in on the fight, but doesn't have the distance. The wet paper's on the ground, looking for the distance, trying to get a knock-up or anything. But again, the water spout knocks them in the direction they're running, and so that would knock them further away. Without a slow, that's the distance.
You know, another big issue for Dig here is that Anatoly has a heal. They can sustain through this, but Omega's finally joining the fight. They have got to be careful here. One good crushing wave will turn this right back around.
Taunting in, damage on Junkwei, forced to pop his ultimate here, trying to away, but the damage is going to be enough. Need ultimate coming out as well. Who's going to hit Zapman on the backside? Zapman gets the kill on Junkwei. They're going to disengage entirely. Looking at the numbers, the Gold Fury. Did that go to? Oh, it's still there, leashed away.
Oh no, it didn't get taken. Completely leashed. Now Jeff Himlo's looking for something. Barra's back in tow. They leash it to the wrong side here. It looks like Shadow Q's going to take a lot of damage. Either team could get it. Looking for the taunt here. Was going to get it. It's super low. COG does manage to take it, but they get completely destroyed in the process. I'm sure Dignitas is all in unison, just screaming, "Worth."
Well, all that came down to was one of the most beautiful Athena taunts we've seen, grabbing Habwa, and that's the problem with Athena, is that that taunt can make or break a team fight. If Athena just had the number 2 and nothing else, she would still be useful in team fights because she brought 3 people together at the center. The Raw Snipe hit 2, killing Habwa instantly, and that's what you need. If Habwa goes down before doing anything, your team fight is shot because his potential for team fight control with that damage application is too much. Initiation in the mid lane, Loki's forced to get away there. Looks like he actually ended up using, no, his ultimate's still available, so that was just a pure vanish. Tower going down now. Looks like they're going to run over to the right side, possibly or even head home here. But with the Fire Giant buff and the fact that they got that kill, the gold is even. But keep in mind, the Fire Giant buff is worth its weight in just about an item each. And so while they have that magic and physical protection as well as the regeneration, they don't have an even fight, even though the gold is even.
Consider Drybear. 1,800 in hand for Anatoly, 1,700 in hand for the best, 1,400 in hand for Zatman, 800 in hand for Shadowq, and 900 in hand right now for Lassus, comparatively to everyone right now on COG sitting at about 500 to 600. I mean, the amount of damage they were doing before was ridiculous. The amount of damage they're going to be doing now after spending, 1,000 to 2,000 gold each on top of the Fire Giant is going to be life-changing.
But we speak about battery spawn here. 3 towers still remain for Team Dignitas on the backside. 4 towers still remain for Cognitive Gaming. So the fact that Dig is tying, actually a little bit behind COG now, about 1,000 gold behind COG, 8 to 9 across the board. The Fire Giant buff is really their claim to fame right now. But once the towers start falling down and they get more objectives across the board, I think really if COG had lost that gold free, it would be very different. Loki on the right side making some pressure, actually forcing out a taunt and a Athena ultimate there now on cooldown as he just pokes in and puts some pressure. And it's always so good to show presence because it makes people do things.
So Anatoly right now, bottom damage on his team's on Shadowq at 5,100, comparatively across the way, where by about 100 damage overall, we're going to see Omegatron lead the pack. We're going to get a split push here from Andy. I don't know if this tier 2 is going to be worth the tier 2 here, especially with the Phoenix getting pushed, running in. Shadowq is going to have the pressure, especially with the heal coming out from Ra. There's nothing they can do to stop this.
Well, this Fire Giant buff is going to last a while. I mean, this is going to last another 2.5, 3 minutes, and then using that, I mean, it's so hard to deal with because they can't fight. There's the taunt on Habwa on the front, forcing the damage burst coming through, forcing their crushing wave that's now on cooldown. That is huge. He has no way to dash and no single target burst as big as his ultimate. He's now relying only on his kit besides the ultimate to do the damage, and that's a big gain for Dig.
Last could be in some trouble here, going for the tower dive. Anister's looking for an opportunity. Vanish is going to be used, and Lassus, with a lot of just insane discipline, is allowing himself to stick around outside of tower range with the Vanish on cooldown. Shadowq jumps into 3. It looks like he's going to be able to pull 2 as Mega's moving forward. Stormcall's going to silence out 2. Zatman's forced back as the demons come out. Cog's looking to keep this one alive.
They're forcing it away. They're Habwa on the back, so getting slowed out by Artemis. Bomb on the ground, not gonna land the stun now. Now looking for the follow-up. That backflip comes through to them. The follow-up, the taunt is there. Double taunt, shield wall damage coming out. Barracuda is still alive somehow, some way. Shadowq taking too much damage from the Phoenix. It looks like he will fall to a Megatron, going too far away. Arnie gets rooted, crushing while to the hit from the knockup. The Neath ultimate secures the kill. They're going too deep. Following up is Cognitive Gaming. This could be a big turnaround and 2-for-0 exchange.
This is going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. Lassus nowhere near where he needs to be in this situation. Zatman just trying to keep them out. Now with this, COG has an opportunity to turn this one around. If they keep chasing Zatman, if they keep getting baited, it's going to be trouble. Oh, he sees Anister in the back just trying to hit MLC Stealth. Andy walks into the path. It gets noticed. Zatman, vengeful assault, just trying to find an opportunity here. He's going to sprint for it. He's going to look for it. But the boar gets vanished. Omega's going to miss the knockup. It's Zatman versus the world.
And he cannot handle that all by his lonesome self. Not even Jenny Z could reach that peak. And now they're going to go down. Zatman going deep. And this is what looks like a throw from Dignitas. Shadowq going way too deep on the Phoenix, dying off instantaneously. A beautiful ultimate from Neath keeps the best rooted in place long enough for Habwa to finish him off. And then Zatman, when it's all said and done, goes back in on the fight and kills himself for no gain there. And all of a sudden, we've got a big lead for COG. The Gold Fury is responding. Dig is in the area. But if COG gets this, they have a pretty significant lead.
Fire Giant buff has despawned, and the Fire Giant should be coming back up in just a few seconds. Gold Fury has been started by Barra and Hindla as they move forward towards the left side. Dignitas is going to have to look for something. Big shot coming out from Best, but not big enough. Water Spout's going to be used, but it looks like Andy's going to go for a kill here. This could be a lot of trouble as Jeff finds the silence onto 2.
Silence comes out there. There goes the kill on the best. Beautiful dunk by Last, hitting 4 though. Anderson goes out. Creepy Curse is on the ground as well. Last trying to get out. Anderson on the backside. Jogway's at the kill with Exorcism. It's a 2-for-1 exchange so far. Aegis on Lassus. Can he get the distance? Crushing Wave erases him from history. And now it's a 4-person push on the left side. It's going to be a 1-for-3 exchange. They're not done yet. Look for the bomb. Zatman killing off on Megatron. There goes ShadowQ in the back. Can he disengage here? He's got nowhere to go. Looking for Barracuda, but Barracuda's looking for him too. The stun is gonna be enough. Exorcism.
Oh my god, ShadowQ leveled up as he was about to take the damage and manages to survive with about 5 health left. And Satman finds the last kill! Jeff does escape, but they turn it around. The people fighting over the Iron Throne here as the Game of Thrones continues.
Well, the Game of Thrones certainly lives up to its name as more people die than you would be comfortable with, as these characters are just dying left and right. But it turns out to be a 3-for-4 exchange in favor of Team Dignitas there, as Zatman gets an unofficial triple kill throughout that fight. And that's the problem, is you can't ignore the little baby Zatman sitting in the corner with his bow, shooting those arrows left and right, because his crits are insane here. Somehow, someway, we've worked our way to a 1,000 gold lead for Cognitive Gaming, 25 minutes into the match. The Fire Giant started by Dig. Cog is in the area. Can they defend it?
Well, I mean, I really honestly don't know. Hinla is trying to find an opportunity. He's going to teleport over. If he doesn't teleport over, he's going to wind up losing this one. He torrented about 3 frames too late. Guys, that is like a 20th of a second that he missed that by.
Wow.
Even so, if he got in there, it was only about a 20% chance he was actually going to get it with the Athena taunt still up. But Dignitas finds themselves with the second Fire Giant buff of the game and another opportunity to win this tournament.
Amazing play there. Cognitive Gaming trying to defend it out, and the torrent was just ever so late. He knew he had to wait long enough for the Fire Giant to be low enough, but at the same time, he did not want to go in preemptively and go out in a big flash, and so Hinla has to go home hanging his head empty-handed there as the Fire Giant goes to Team Dignitas. Now it's 15-13. Cognitive Gaming somehow still has a gold lead, but what does that mean when Enister goes down? Could it be even further? I mean, he was trying to get the kill, but he was in enemy territory.
That right now using his lifesteal plus the raw heal he was just at like 5% health and now he's suddenly full again.
Well, that's just how it goes when you got, you know, a history on the block.
Can you just...
Gold Fury going down. Dignitas takes a little bit more gold lead. Finally, actually a gold lead in their name. The Fire Giant is down and they have so much time to use it.
15-14. Cog still leads in kills, but they're now down in gold. The experience difference has been normalized, and they're going to be able to push towards this mid lane. ShadowQ's going to run real deep to push them away. This should be a free 1,500 gold swing.
Oh, mid tower going to be taken out here. A very easy switch there. Now, will they go for the Phoenix or will they go for the right tower? Looks like they're already heading to the right tower there. Or will they group up? They have the Fire Giant buff. All players on Cog are up. In fact, most of the ultimates are up in the game, except for Barracuda's Neath ultimate. But of course, we do have missing ShadowQ's Defender of Olympus and the Caledonian Boar from Artemis.
Nope. Running back down. All Phoenixes stand. 1 tier 2 remains on the right side. Lassus, or rather, I'm so used to Lassus playing Loki. Anister looking for a line here to try to find maybe Anatoly or Zatman out of position. But realistically, we're all looking at Omega right now. But check out Lass. He is looking for an opportunity to get that Anvil of Dawn. Phoenix taking a lot of damage, and he's finally in there, but he just walks right past everyone, not utilizing really the damage from Vanish at all as they're trying to get something. Anatoly finds some damage. 3 people going to be silenced here. Really, this is where Cog has to go in.
Decoy is there. They got to fight something. The Phoenix is under pressure here. They're being zoned down entirely, trying to bait out some ultimates. Athena, played by ShadowQ, leading the way in the front side here. Cog is scrambling. Loki is getting ready to go in, though. Gets hit in the area. Gets taunted, actually forces his purification beast. Agni's going to find him, though. There goes the Flame Wave coming out here. Barracuda goes down, looking for Loki's force ultimate defensively on the right side. The best goes down as well. There goes a big swap up, but it's a 2-for-1 exchange. The Titan is exposed, and they lost a lot of their damage.
All they lost was Best, and he used pretty much everything to his name at that point. Really, we're just looking at MLC trying to find something. 4-man Book of Demons, but the Exorcism isn't enough. Dignitas is going to be your winners, guys, this week. Week 6 will go down for the Smite World Championships.
A amazing play by Dignitas. That was so back and forth as our floating heads come in to serve justice here. We do see that, of course, Cognitive Game got a great start there. Dignitas turned around, and then Cog turned it right back around again. And one thing that's pretty interesting to note is a majority of that match, Cognitive Gaming had the gold lead. Dignitas was playing from behind, but because they were able to sneak those Fire Giant buffs, that gold lead didn't mean as much. In fact, it was almost as if they had a pseudo gold lead because that buff, it was scaling them up even more. And so because of that, the small little moments, we talk about this all the time, DM, the fact that if you get a window and you jump in there and you steal that buff, you just get that Fire Giant and you disappear, that can change the whole game.
So we were talking a lot about Omega in the early stages of this game, and he put up a fair 16,400, closer to 500 damage, slightly shouted out by MLC Stealth at 17,400, but then you look across the way, the best had more damage, 17,000, but then Zapman, 26,700. I think this is the first week we've seen Zapman really back and really at the top of his game since week 2.
At the same time, we all have to mention that Zapman was tied for first damage in the last game, though. It was Barracuda and Zapman together, Artemis versus Uhl, and this time around, Zapman's still hitting home. And realistically, that last engagement on the Tier 2 tower on the left side for Dignitas, where they were being aggressed upon, and Zapman was just quietly sitting behind the tower getting kills, he got a triple kill. If he didn't get any kills, that was a 1-for-3 exchange in favor of Cognitive. All of a sudden, we have a 4-for-3 exchange in favor of Dignitas. They get the Gold Fury. They stole the Fire Giant twice, and that's all they really needed to close that out. Cognitive Gaming came out with the right foot forward, but unfortunately enough, they missed too many small details, and Dig just stole it away.
Matt, a brilliant performance by Dignitas in the finals, of course. Shout out to the Cognitive taking second place once again. The Game Changers, I think third as well, and then Snipe in fourth place.
That's right.
And this is the roster lock week, Drybear.
Yeah, it certainly is. So everything is pretty much set in stone here for the North American region, European region. We'll see what they decide to check in with in the morning as we do start up for the European tournament at 9 a.m. Eastern. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of really just think about where we are right now. We're halfway through the Smite World Championship qualifiers, week number 6. Dignitas has taken another first place win. They'll be moving up to 520 seed points. They're actually the first team in the world to cross 500 points total. They're doing very, very well and certainly deserve their spot here. And I think they're pretty much locked in.
Yeah, I mean, they would need to have a pretty hard fall from grace to be able to drop that spot. Cognitive would win. Really, I think they would need to win every tournament up until... Yeah, I think they would need to win every tournament to be able to take first seed over.
That's right. They'd have to push it up pretty hard. Or Dig just kind of going into third place every single week or fourth place every single week, pushing it down. So definitely a lot of opportunity there, a lot of room to be made. But that is the conclusion for today's Smite World Championship North American Qualifiers week number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Dignitas first place, Cognitive Gaming second place, Game Changers third place, and Snipe fourth place for today. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern at the same place for twitch.tv/Smite game for the European version of the Smite World Championship week number 6 qualifiers. We're halfway to the regionals. The regionals are going to be phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see which teams are the best in the world. But we're going to go ahead and close out for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today. For myself, Deanne, Brandon, our admins, our wonderful moderation staff, and our production crew that makes everything possible, we thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you tomorrow.